Hey everybody, how you doing? Let's go read the news. Wave of resignation strike Rayne administration. So Pascal resigned, and Simon resigned, because Pascal did it because he blames me for the polio epidemic. But the truth is, I think they're both leaving a sinking ship, that they're going to probably support Lilius because they want to be in a new cabinet, and they know our odds of being reelected are not very high. Lockhaven times future of Rayne's cabinet. Same thing. They're saying that we haven't made any new appointments. There's no reason to, I don't think. The radical? Resignations. Who's on Rayne's side now? Some of these guys were never on my side, radical. Some of them never were. So what do we got on the agenda? Alright, so we got a meeting with the United Sordland Party. I think this is to pick the representative for our party in the elections. I don't know why we're doing this. And it's not because I think we have a poor chance of winning it. We might win it. Because if you remember earlier, our changes to the party, some of the ultra-conservatives in our party have left to join another party. And we've done a good job getting Clavin on our side. So we have an outside chance of winning the nomination. I don't think we have much of a chance of the general election. But the reason I wonder why we're doing this is David Weesey said in the last election that he thinks there's going to be a military coup. Why in the world, if there's a threat of a military coup, are we focused on this? Shouldn't we be going and talking to Penis Head, talking to Kruger, talking to people that might have security apparatus that are not under the military, and trying to get something organized? I feel like it's a huge mistake that this is what we're focusing on. But I don't have a choice, so here we go. It was the day of the United Sordland Party Congress. For the third time in the party, and Sordland's history, a candidate was challenging an incumbent for president. Serge was driving me to the Grand National Assembly for the historic event. I looked out the window as we passed through the small forest dividing the Maroon Palace and the Assembly. I thought about the day I announced my candidacy against Ewald Alfonso when he was still president. One of the things I'll always have is I destroyed the wealth of Ewald Alfonso. Well, he destroyed it with the incompetence of how he ran his company, but I made sure I didn't bail him out, so... Then I remembered how, just a few years before that, Ewald had challenged Tarkin Soul.
How are you feeling back there, sir?
With my fingers! I'm okay, Serge. How you doing today? I've made peace with things.
I'm as good as I can be, sir.
Serge made a left turn out of the forest and entered the vast garden area of the Assembly.
I still don't believe how Ms. Graff could run against you. She owed her position to you.
Serge, there is nothing loyal about that woman. She ain't loyal to nobody. She says she's loyal to Soul. I have a feeling she's not even loyal to him. She's loyal to power. And that's the power she wants. You know what? I'm just gonna be pragmatic. You know, it doesn't matter, Serge. She can do as she pleases. Being angry about it, oh, that damn bitch, isn't gonna help me at all.
Of course, sir. It's not like she has a chance against you.
Oh, Serge, I've got some news for you. You might want to take a seat. Oh, I mean, I guess you're sitting because you're driving the car. He parked the car in front of the gate that led to the USP's wing of the Assembly. I just hope that we can reform the party enough that we will become a minor party that joins the other parties in actually reforming the country. Our success will have been hopefully bringing freedom and equality to women and destroying the corrupt USP party.
Good luck, Mr. President. See you on the way back.
Thank you, Serge. I appreciate it, man. How's your daughter doing in school? I entered the building and joined the crowd of influential politicians, lobbyists, and benefactors who had gathered for this turning point. It was almost time for the debate. The crowd dispersed, and the members of the USP went inside the Congress Hall. United Sordland banners hung from every possible spot. I tried to mentally prepare for my speech, but the lingering memories from the first two leadership races were making it hard for me to focus. As if on cue, Lilia strode past me into the hall, accompanied by a large group of her supporters. Instead of her usual beige, she wore a sun-yellow skirt and blazer. Whore! Dressed like a whore! How dare you try and impersonate the sun? You know, at some point earlier in the game, there was mention of starting our own political party. I don't know if that's like something you could do, but I don't think we got an option to. Gloria Tori was on her right. Iosif was on her left. Iosif? Then I noticed Pascal. Even he seemed to be throwing his support behind Lilius now. Well, that's not a surprise. Come on, that's why he resigned from the cabinet. I tried to ignore them as I entered the hall. Wait, so Iosif is going to support her and then military coup? That don't make no sense. Wait, so Iosif is going to support her and then military coup? That don't make no sense. I took a seat next to Albin and waited for the session to begin. Remember, the whole reason we got Boy Wonder here is we're trying to convert the party into a more reformist-minded one. We gotta see if Douchebag can come through here. Mr. President! Let's get this race over, shall we? How you feeling about the vote today, slugger? The cabinet resignations took away a lot of support. It's gonna be a very close race. But still, if you can remind them who you are, you'll win the day! Yeah, let's see. Yeah. Look, it's starting! Oh! He pointed at the podium. Lucian was there. He was about to introduce the candidates. Ladies and gentlemen. The hall fell silent when he started speaking. We gather today in the 26th Congress of the United Sordland Party for the third leadership race in its history. On the occasion of my 20th year in this party, I am honored to be opening this historic session today. The members of the USP will soon be voting on whether President Rayne or Lilius Graf shall assume leadership going forward. Before we begin the selection process, I would like to invite both candidates to give very short speeches. First, I would like to invite Anton Rayne, the 4th President of Sordland, and the chairman of our party. No, Lucian, let me go second. I stood up and walked up to the podium. Amid applause and campaign music, yo, what's up, dudes and dudettes? I shook his hand before I began addressing the party. Brothers and sisters, going out the way I came in. I could say I did my best. I could say I know my term could have gone better. We have achieved a lot, but you know, I'm just gonna be straight. I got nothing to lose. I know our term could have gone better. I took office to bring reform to this country, and the only reform I got was in spite of you numbnuts. But Lilius and the old guard stood in our way. I took a deep breath, but I am here to do more, to bring meaningful change. We can't let Ms. Graf take the helm of the ship. This is not the time for division in the party. We're not going to mention the recession. Do not fall for Ms. Graf's lie. She betrayed our trust by leaving a very important office. No, wait, I don't want to say that. I don't think Ms. Graf can provide any alternative. That's what I want to do. I don't think she can unite the party. She might be able to beat us, but I don't think she'll be able to unite the factions. Then again, we weren't able to unite the factions either. Ms. Graf is a puppet of Tarkin's soul and the old god, nothing else. See, when we first were trying to reform the Constitution, we wouldn't dare have said that, because we needed the support of the soulless. Now, as we're trying to reform the party, I don't care. We either divide this party and break it, or we change it into something useful. And so far, we're mostly just destroying the party. I could say, let's get this over with. I love that. Elect me again so we can continue our great transformation. I'm just going to say, I'm going to do the last one. No, I'll say I know you'll do the right thing. I don't believe in them at all, but I know you will do the right thing. Actually, they will no matter what, right? If they elect Graf, I don't think she's going to win. So we get reform, it just takes longer. And we have no hand in it, but at least the country gets better. If we pick us, maybe the same result, because we're going to have a hard time winning the presidency. But either way, this party won't be what it used to be. Morgna, West Corps. The campaign music started blaring again as I left the podium. That was the most fuck you speech I think Anton ever gave. This bitch be a hoe and a liar? She can't do shit. Lucian shook my hand and I walked back to my seat. To the sound of loud applause, I sat back down next to Elvin. Not a bad speech, Mr. President. You better come through with your reformist cronies there, Claven. That's the reason I got you this job. Lucian spoke from the podium again. Thank you again for your speech, Mr. President. Now I'd like to invite the next candidate to the stage. She's gonna roast us for the things that did not go well in the administration. She is one of the most experienced and respected members of this party. I don't respect her. We all know her from her accomplishments in Avery and Wholesword. And of course I have the personal pleasure of working with her in this administration. So I would like to take this opportunity to endorse her candidacy. Lucian, et Brute. I urge you all to vote for her, the future first female president of Sordland. Elbin turned to me with a sympathetic look. Oh, I always knew he was a prig. Don't say that about Lucian. I like him still. He can endorse whoever he wants. Look, Lucian wants to have a future. He doesn't want to live in a cardboard box with me. It's fine, Elbin. He can endorse whoever he wants. Let's welcome the former Minister of the Interior of Sordland, Lilius Graf. The hall started applauding. Lilius walked up to the podium, accompanied by an old nationalist song about the Swordist Civil War, a later into Norsi, or the light in the darkness. Her eyes had a fire in them that I'd never seen before. Fellow compatriots, it is an honor to be a candidate for the leadership of our great united Sordland party. She pulled a handkerchief and dabbed at her eyes. Forgive me. Oh, this beautiful song always fills me with emotion. My opponent might call that a weakness. I consider it a strength. You two-faced whore. You're trying to play them like a fiddle, and you might succeed. Oh, it brings me hope to see all the energy in this Congress Hall today. But hope alone, it doesn't suffice. I don't want to listen to songs any longer. I want us to sing them from the rooftops. Oh. What is it that you want? Sons of daughters of Sordland, I'll tell you right now. You want a president who will stand bravely against the wealthy elites in their mansion, rather than kowtow to their every demand. That's the tack she's taking. If the game has any decency, we win on that issue, because we took out the oligarchs. The oligarchs are gone. We put a tax on wealthy corporations. We have done that in a way that she hasn't had anything to do with or ever would. We have actually... There's a lot of things you can say that are wrong with our administration. We have done a great job of going after and succeeding in persecuting and taking down rich and wealthy elites. You want a Sordland that protects its own, rather than letting in foreigners who have no respect for our culture. That she might do well with some of the people in our party. You want a strong and united Sordland. And I'm here to tell you that none of those things are possible, as long as Anton Rayne's in office. And those who rule the state become more and more alienated from the values that make us who we are, says the woman who grew up in a mansion with a butler. And the deplorables who stand silent against this sink us deeper into the quagmire of moral and cultural corruption. He took this party away from its roots with no regard to our core values. He tore his wife away from her rightful place at home and forced her into politics in the name of women's liberation. How does it not backfire on her? She's like, I'm going to be the first woman president, but his wife shouldn't be doing things to help women. I gotta think that backfires on her. And he did all of that without even managing to fix the recession. Sordish people are still suffering. He is a disgrace to the name of Tarkin's soul. We cannot allow him to taint the accomplishments of this party any further. I'm not gonna comment. I'm gonna let her, say your bit. I kept listening. Oh, don't worry. Let her say what she wants. The results won't change. Yeah, that's what I'm afraid of, Clavin. After nearly 4 years of the president behaving abominably against all my advice, I had no choice but to tender my resignation. I believed we could achieve much more, for I still believe in a united Sordland. Wait, why is Ilias on your side? Or, Penis Head. You and Penis Head were fighting about who controls the gendarmerie. How did you win him over? I appeal to your innate sense of honor and dignity as Swordish people. Whoa! Elect me as your leader, and I promise that with the Lord on my side, I shall elevate this party and this glorious nation to the heavens. Oh! Mr. Rayne, your time leading this country is to an end. It's through. I am here to bring down the walls that you built. Thank you, Morgna Westcore! I'm not gonna do anything. I did not react to her speech. The voting began! I filled out my ballot, marking an X next to my own name, and lined up to drop it in the ballot box. I heard Lucian's voice behind me. Sir? Look who's here. I'm sorry, sir. It had to be done. I assure you it's nothing personal. My loyalty is to the party and Sordland. It's a shame your loyalty wasn't to the people of the nation. I'm not mad at you, Lucian. I just wish you'd said something to me beforehand. It doesn't matter if you matter not anymore, sir. Well, I mean, nothing's set in stone until we see the results. Yeah, but you know what, Lucian? The fact I'm not mad at you, that's gonna stick with you. Might not bug you now. It might not bug you tomorrow, but it will bug you. It'll bug you that I wasn't angry. I didn't give you that emotional response. It's okay. I'm just disappointed, Lucian. Good luck. Yeah, thanks, man. He turned his back and walked away. After all the votes were cast, we sat back down and waited for the announcement. After some time, Lucian appeared on stage again. Thank you, everybody, for voting today. The results are ready. After counting every vote, we have come to a conclusion. The winner of today's leadership vote is determined to be Lilius Graf. Yeah, that doesn't surprise me. It doesn't surprise me. The hall reverberated with thunderous applause. Woot woot! I congratulate our new leader and our next candidate for president. I couldn't believe it. Actually, I can't believe it. For a moment, my sight darkened. All I heard was the shouting, Lilius, Lilius. I couldn't focus. Everything became a blur. Are you okay, Mr. President? I am okay, Claven. I've made peace with this a while ago. Our party was always shit. There are good people in the party, but at the end of the day, the shitty people in the party won out. I mean, that's why they didn't want to change the Constitution. They didn't want to change to a system where they had to represent the people. Now, I'm fine, Claven. I sat down in my seat and sighed deeply. So, well, we had a good run, kiddo. I can't tell if you're being sarcastic. I still believe we can work together, Claven. We still have a few days in office. Thanks for that. Maybe we can work together. What do you plan on doing? I could continue politics in another party. Or start my own party. Or I'm not going to endorse Lilius. Then again, I could endorse her and continue my membership in the party. It says nothing is over yet. I don't see where I'd beat her, though. I think our best choices are we either try and divide the party by creating our own party. I don't think another party is going to want us. We're unpopular. Fuck it. Let's try and finally destroy this broken party. I will start my own party and run for president again. I'll call it the Democrat Party of Sordland. Our goals were to represent the people. What I'm trying to do is fracture our party. If we can fracture our party, then in the general election, hopefully, Congress is a divided one. And they will have to work together. It is high time that Sordland had a new political movement. Come on, Claven. You know the reformists in our party have been ignored. They take your vote for granted. If you're not willing to let them lose, they will never do what you want. Interesting indeed, Mr. President. But you'll be on your own with that. I don't think I'm ready to switch parties. You're not an idiot. Well, he kind of. Somehow I expected that I'd be alone in this. I wasn't sure if my plan would even succeed. I thought back on my many years in the USP, then I thought about the future. I needed to plan my next steps. Can I really form my own party by myself? Hell yeah. Woo, woo. It's gonna be me and like nobody else. What do we got in news? Rayne stabs USP in the back and founds Democrat Party. What a shocking turn of events. Handed his hat by Lilius Graf during the USP Party Congress, President Rayne abruptly announced that he would continue his presidential run under the banner of a new party. The Democrat Party appears to be a clumsy imitation of the PIFJAs. It's doubtful Rayne's new platform and ungraceful exit from the USP will convert conservatives, but his sheer charisma might sway undecided voters to decide. More on this as it develops. And of course, Graf wins at the USP Congress. If I thought the PIFJAs would have nominated me, I would have thought of going that way. But I don't think they would have. Maybe that was a mistake. But last time we talked to Franz Richter, he didn't like us. Maybe I should have gone that way. I think this is a more fun way. How many people do this? Rayne breaks from old guard, runs as an independent. We're cautiously optimistic about this. After Lilius Graf successfully challenged his USP leadership, Anton Rayne announced the formation of his own party. He'll now be taking on Graf as a member of the Democrat Party. I like to point out, the only member. While his new platform appears vague for now, anyone who would prevent soulless figurehead Graf from seizing control of the Sordish government has got our vote. What, the radicals endorsing us? It took courage for President Rayne to separate himself from the forces who have held power in the Maroon Palace for so long. Let's hope it sticks. I don't think we got much of a chance. That's hilarious, though. Dinner at home? Oh, no. Oh, man, I bet my wife's gonna be mad. Gotta go home and tell her. She'll be like, how'd it go? Well, I made a new party. Who's joining you? No one. Maybe Nia? I can hope. See you then.